We're counting down 8 auto parts store products every driver should fear. From innocent-seeming upgrades to chemical quick fixes, each ranks higher for how quickly it can turn a small issue into catastrophic engine or transmission failure, often for less than the price of an oil change. Which product causes the least irreversible harm, and which one will trash your entire engine for good? Let's begin the countdown with number 8. Oiled performance air filters promise more horsepower and a lifetime of use, but the real story is what happens after you install one. The oil from these filters migrates downstream, coating the delicate wire inside the mass airflow sensor. Even a thin film is enough to throw off readings by as much as 15%, confusing the car's computer about how much air is coming in. That means your engine runs too lean or too rich, killing fuel economy and sending raw fuel or excess oxygen into the exhaust. Catalytic converter temperatures can spike past 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit, melting the core and lighting up your dashboard with warning lights. All for a filter that was supposed to be an upgrade. Stick to a high-quality dry paper filter. Your engine and wallet will thank you. Cheap oil filters, often sold in bright orange cans, hide a problem inside: cardboard end caps and thin, weak filter media. When you start your engine on a cold morning, oil pressure can spike past 80 psi. That's enough to crush those cardboard caps or tear the filter media apart. Instead of trapping dirt, the filter now becomes a debris cannon, firing loose fibers and bits of cardboard straight into the engine's bearings. These particles, sometimes as large as 50 microns, grind into the soft metal surfaces, leaving visible scoring that shortens engine life. Saving a few bucks at the parts store can cost you thousands in repairs. Always choose a filter with metal end caps and quality media. Your engine depends on it. Oil thickeners, sold as miracle cures for noisy engines and oil burning, do their damage by turning your carefully engineered 5W20 oil into something closer to tar. The instant you pour in that honey-like additive, viscosity can more than double. Lab tests show jumps of 200% or more. Modern engines rely on thin oil to move through passages as narrow as 0.02 inches, especially in variable valve timing systems. When oil thickens, flow through these orifices drops by up to 70%. VVT phasers and timing chains starve for lubrication, chains stretch, and warning lights follow. What started as a fix for low oil pressure ends up choking the most precise parts of your engine. If your car needs thicker oil to run, it needs a real repair, not a chemical bandage. Universal coolant jugs line the shelves with promises of all makes, all models, but mixing the wrong types is a chemical disaster in a bottle. When OAT and IAT coolants combine, they react to form silicate sludge, thick brown gel particles between 100 and 500 microns. This goo flows straight to the water pump and radiator, cutting coolant flow by as much as 80%. Temperatures spike, climbing 30 degrees Celsius or more above normal. Overheated engines warp heads, blow gaskets, and leave you stranded. The so-called universal fix actually sabotages your cooling system from the inside out. Always match your coolant to the exact spec in your owner's manual. Transmission. Stop slip. Additives claim to fix slipping gears by rejuvenating old seals, but the chemistry inside your transmission tells a different story. These additives force rubber seals to swell far beyond their design limits. Lab tests show expansion of 30 to 50%. At first, leaks slow down, but as the seals keep swelling, their structure breaks down, turning into a mushy mess that cannot hold pressure. Internal hydraulic pressure, which should stay above 100 pounds per square inch, can drop below 50 pounds per square inch. That is not enough to engage clutches or shift gears, leaving you stranded. Instead of a simple $500 solenoid fix, you are now looking at a full transmission rebuild, often $4,000 or more. A $15 bottle traded for a total loss. Pouring a 5-minute engine flush into a high-mileage motor sounds like a shortcut to a clean slate, but the chemistry inside is brutal. Solvent-based flushes break down years of sludge in minutes, ripping loose chunks as big as 5 millimeters. These clumps race through oil passages and pile up on the pickup screen, which is designed to catch particles larger than 0.5 millimeter. It doesn't take much. Just a handful of debris can choke off oil flow entirely. Within 50 to 150 miles, oil pressure drops to 0, bearings go dry, and the engine locks up. A $15 flush turns into a seized engine and a tow bill home. Radiator stop leak powders and liquids claim to patch leaks in minutes, but the real cost comes later. These products rely on fine aluminum or cellulose particles, just 10 to 50 microns across, to plug holes. The problem is, they can't tell a leak from a narrow heater core or radiator tube. In modern systems, those passages are only 1 to 2 millimeters wide. Within 1,000 miles, up to 70% of those tubes can clog, choking off coolant flow. First, you lose cabin heat. Then, the engine temperature spikes. Overheating warps cylinder heads and can crack the block, turning a $15 shortcut into a $5,000 engine replacement. This is the mechanic's nightmare in a bottle. Trading a small drip for a catastrophic meltdown. Sodium silicate head gasket sealers, sold as liquid glass, harden at engine temperatures above 180 degrees Fahrenheit. This process coats every surface inside the engine and radiator with a brittle glass layer up to 1 millimeter thick. Once set, the deposits make machining or rebuilding impossible. It turns a $30 gamble into a $5,000 to $8,000 scrap bill. No shortcut does more permanent damage. Across all 8 products, one truth emerges. Shortcuts in a bottle destroy more engines than they save. For modern cars, chemistry isn't a cure, it's a ticking time bomb. Fix the root, not the symptom.